Hello and welcome to the How to Film Weddings YouTube channel. My name is John Bunn, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how I just booked an $18,000 wedding. Now, that might be a number where you're like, what in the heck? How is that even possible? And the point of this video is not to flex or say that I'm a big deal, but show you the path that I took to actually build a brand where couples are reaching out to me and okay to pay that much money, and to show you what can be done in the wedding video industry. I think a lot of us have a lid on our business. We don't think we can make more than this amount of money, and I'm here to tell you that the sky really is the limit. Now, I didn't just book this couple in the first couple of years of me doing weddings. This is now my 16th year of filming weddings, and I want to be completely transparent with you in this video that it took a really long time to build a brand that is worth charging this much money. So in this video, I want to do a few things. I want to show you some bits and pieces of my initial call that I had with the couple and just walk through some of that. And I also want to show you exactly what I quoted them, what was in the package, how I built relationships, and how I built a path to getting them to say yes to me. So let's get into it. So first things first, this is a bride that found me maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I have 160 plus mutual friends with her on Facebook. And when she got engaged, actually before she got engaged is when she reached out to me. As it sits, I don't think they're actually still engaged yet, but she knew that she really wanted to book me. So she reached out as soon as she really knew that she was going to be getting married. Now she's just waiting to get engaged. And that happens a lot with me, actually. Couples come to me, brides come to me and say, are you available on this day? If not, I'm gonna pick a different day. And that's exactly what happened. She did not have a wedding day and wanted to make sure I was available first. So this is a different kind of lead. This is I've built brand equity with them for half a decade kind of lead. And you don't just do that by producing crappy films over time. You do that by really blowing them away time and time again. And I've filmed weddings for I think 8 or 9 of her friends now. So whenever it was her turn, she knows that she really wants me to be there. So she reached out saying, I'm not even engaged yet. I know I want to use you. Are you available on this day for a wedding in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico? And I said, let's get on a call and let's chat. So the first thing I did whenever it came to getting on the phone with her, I just kind of looked her up. Part of my questionnaire asks some questions, and it really helps me to gauge whether or not they can afford my services. And that sets me up to really know how to serve them well. So I hopped on a call with her, and honestly, we really didn't talk wedding stuff all that much at the beginning. I just reiterated the connections that we had. I tried to hear about why she was doing certain things certain ways. And it came to find out that she's getting married at this location because that is the last place her whole family went on vacation before her father passed away. And if you don't know much about me, my dad passed away about 1.5 years ago now, and we immediately connected. She knew that my dad had passed away. I knew now that her dad had passed away, and they're getting married at his favorite spot on earth. So we just immediately connected. That's the first thing I really want to say. So you have to really connect with your couples, and you don't want to get into a consultation with somebody or a discovery call and get straight into numbers and things like that. You really want to get to know them and know their story. And that was really, really helpful. We immediately connected. We immediately had all kinds of people that we knew, that we overlapped. I talked about different weddings that I'd worked with her. And we spent about an hour on a Zoom call just talking through all these details. Now, in the call, we did start talking through some of the rates and some of the things, and I just started throwing out a little bit of numbers. I realized she was gonna need me there for 4 or 5 days. She was gonna need me to travel there. She wants a lot of different edits, and I could tell by the way that she was talking that video was her #1 priority and budget wasn't a problem. And so whenever I start putting all those things together, I'm not going to take advantage of somebody, but I am also going to really dream and suggest things that maybe I wouldn't suggest to the average person reaching out to me. So I really got into where they're gonna be on which day. I really started thinking through what things I could film, and she was there for all of it. So I ended up saying a price, or kind of a price range, but said I'll put some numbers together, I'll give you some feedback, and I will send you over a proposal. And so that's exactly what I did. So after I got off the call, I immediately put together a package that included travel fees, everything to get me to Mexico and back, and to give her the footage that she needed, to give her the edits that she wanted based on the conversation we had. I put a custom proposal together for every single couple. It usually starts with the same elements, but I really cater it just to them and make it feel really custom to them. So that was what I did. I sent that email to her and said, here's what I'm thinking. This is gonna be a ballpark range. And after I crunched all the numbers, it was like somewhere in the $20,000 to $22,000 range plus travel to get me there. And I just said, hey, the range is gonna probably be 18 to 20,000 before I sent it. And then I put together a proposal, and I really did one thing on the phone with her, or on the Zoom call with her, is I said, now this is a big decision, and I really don't think it's smart for you to make this alone. If you're the one paying for this, that's great, but if your mom is helping you pay, or whomever's helping you pay, I'd really love to get together and answer any questions they may have, because you could buy a car for this amount. You could do a lot of things with this amount. So I sent her the proposal, and I waited to hear back. After I sent the proposal, I used HoneyBook, and I could see that she opened the proposal, and I set myself a reminder to follow back up in a couple of days. 2 days went by, I sent her a message, and I just said, hey, what are we thinking? Would you like to get together with mom? Would you, what can I do to like really show you that this is gonna be worth it? And she recommended we get together for drinks with her mom. And that's exactly what we did. I drove up to Tulsa, which is a 20-minute drive for me. We went downtown, we went to a dinner club together. They had some drinks, and we just sit down for an hour. And I can't tell you how great of a conversation this was. Another thing about selling big packages for me is that I don't necessarily need the booking anymore. How to Film Weddings is doing just fine. I'm limiting the numbers of weddings that I'm taking, and so there's a purity about the way that I communicate with people, and it's okay with me if they don't book me. I want their money, I want to book them, I want to tell that story, but I don't come across greedy, I don't come across that I need this, and that's a really big factor when it comes to selling some of these bigger weddings. People that are spending more money, they're not just doing this and trying to pinch pennies. Like, they want to buy that exclusivity. They want to pay for something that nobody else is getting. And that's part of what I did with this conversation. But I didn't do that until we really spent some time getting to know about each other. The mother had recently lost her husband a year and a half ago. Again, I had recently lost my dad, and she opened up the door and just asked me about my dad, and I was able to talk to them about losing their dad. And like, we just had this moment. We all cried. We like just really connected, and it was just, what I could tell was a perfect fit. And that's something that's been really big that I had to do to change over the last 5 years to get to charging these amounts. Is I had to start saying no to people that I felt like didn't have the chemistry that I needed. The family and I didn't get along like I wanted. Even though they're willing to pay, they were sweet, sometimes I would just get a gut feeling and I would still say yes. And now I'm getting better and better at saying no to those weddings, because it allows me to do weddings like this. So we're at drinks, we're having a good time, we're talking, and I just start running through what it is that I would produce for them, how I would get there, how I would cover it, how I would capture it. And then I walked through my values. What's important to me? I'm a father, I have 2 girls, I have a husband. This is how I film weddings. This is the philosophy that I go into with your wedding weekend. I'm not just here to make something that's pretty for Instagram. I want you to feel like you have a luxurious experience with me, but I want to be like family. And if I don't connect with you and you don't connect with me, it's okay. But that's what this meeting is for. And that's exactly what we did in this meeting. We just got to know each other better and better. I got to know stories about them. They opened up to me. I opened up to them. And you could just tell that it was like a match made in heaven. And so the mom during the call was like, so this is pretty, this is pretty set in stone. Do you want me to just send you a credit card? You may send you a check. And I just confidently said, if you have a check, I'd love to take it. I'll put it towards the balance, just to get them to say yes in that moment. If they wouldn't have said that, I probably would have said, let me just have you pay with your credit card over the internet, no big deal. But they were willing to commit within that hour. And so now I'm 2 hours into this meeting with this couple, with the bride, with her mom, and I have been able to really get to know them well. I've been able to really connect with them. I've seen what connections we have together. I've walked through all of that. I've really built value in their mind. The value didn't start 1 week ago or 1 month ago. It started 5 years ago, whenever she first saw my brand, when she first saw the first wedding of one of her friends. And that is what it takes sometimes to just continue to build business that can charge this amount of money. And you might be asking yourself, what in the heck did you do? What is in an $18,000 package? And I want to tell you exactly what is in the package. Okay, so in the package that I sent them was one cinematographer, the full day wedding coverage for 12 hours, professional audio recording, aerial coverage if weather and FAA permit, a 10-minute cinematic feature, a 1-minute teaser film, full ceremony presentation, which is just our ceremony edit, full speeches presentation, just the speeches edit, home footage digitization. I am allowing them to send me up to 5 VHS tapes or DVDs or cassette type things, and I'll digitize them. I have all the equipment. I enjoy it. Just an added perk. I also include all the raw footage on a drive, the rehearsal dinner coverage for up to 2 hours, a welcome party coverage up to 2 hours, and an excursion up to 2 hours. And then I'm around at the same resort for miscellaneous footage, location footage by the pool, etc., cinematic feature film digital download, and I'm helping them create their timeline. Now, whenever I was talking to them, it was really important for her. She really wanted to capture certain moments that were going to happen throughout the week. Everybody's getting there on Wednesday. They're doing a big welcome party. On Thursday, they're all going out on a boat and they want me to film that. On Friday, everybody's hanging out by the pool. And Friday night, they are having a rehearsal dinner and a rehearsal. And then Saturday, all day at the wedding. So this is really like 2 or 3 weddings worth of coverage all in one film. But for me, I would much, much rather have that than 4 wedding films. That's just me and my brand. And then I also talked to them about where I'm going to stay, how I want to travel, and I book that separately. A lot of people will book that together. What I've really started realizing the more I've started charging is that I usually just tell people I like to sleep in the same building or same hotel resort that you're gonna be staying so I can be around. I don't wanna sit in a middle aisle. I need to be comfortable on an airplane. My gear needs to be safe, and I don't want to pay any of the extra fees, and I just bill you all of that like afterwards, or we can do it beforehand, however you want, and I just work a deal with them like that. So that is all together with all the travel. They're going to include travel for my wife and a resort for a week. It's going to be over a $25,000 value package, and I'm just like sitting here pinching myself being like, what in the heck? How in the heck did this happen? And then I'm reminded of 2007 when I was just getting started, in 2008 when I was learning, in 2009 when I went full-time, and then 2010 when I did my first bridal show and put it on a credit card and like maxed it out so I could print DVD labels and stamp them and give them out at bridal shows, and working through all the kinks of all the thousands of sales calls that I've had over the years and realizing that I am an expert in this field. I know I have a lot of things I can do to learn, and I know you have a lot of things you can do to learn, but I just wanted to show you that path that it took me to get to booking weddings over this amount. And this wasn't just a one-off booking. I've started to book several weddings over $15,000 in the last couple of years because I've built a long-term brand. Now, what's the point of all this? Okay, are you flexing? No, I just want to encourage you that in a society where we are thinking about Amazon Prime and I want it now, some things, the best things, just take time. And I want to encourage you that if you feel like you're just alone, if you're feeling like you're not growing, look back a year ago, 2 years ago, and see where you were as a business. Look back down the mountain, encourage yourself. That's what How to Film Weddings is all about. We want to help you elevate your game. We want to elevate the wedding video industry. We want you to get better and not just charge more, but this couple, I'm going to have creative freedom to do something and create something for them that's so unique, and it fits exactly the kind of buyer for me, the exact kind of couple for me. I'm going to be able to incorporate footage of her dad that's no longer with us and be able to put that in the wedding film. I mean, I get emotional thinking about it because it's so important what we do. And if you forget that and you forget the value that you add as a wedding filmmaker, you might undercharge, you might burn out, and we need as many good wedding filmmakers out there as possible so we can all elevate the industry together. Now, a couple things before I sign off today. In our store at howtofilmweddings.com/store, we do have a consultation guide. I think it's $50, but if you want to grab that, be sure to hit the link in the description. That's a great consultation guide that might help you with consultations and help you up your game. And if you're not part of our free Facebook group, join the How to Film Weddings Facebook group at howtofilmweddings.com/community. That's all I have for today. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe, and until next time, we'll see ya.